What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Motors and another vehicle highlight. So today we're going to be getting into this 2007 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. This is one of the first iterations of the JK generation. It's a really customizable vehicle. Lots of stuff that you can do to it and with it. It's a really fun project car for anybody. It can also be a daily driver. Heck, it can be both. This is one of those vehicles that kind of does it all and is a lot of fun to get into, so let's get it. All right, y'all, so just getting into the basics. This is a stock model with off-road tires. It's a really nice fitment. It's an 07 and it's been taken care of pretty well with the soft top and the paint in good condition. Right here you can see really nice kind of quality to it, not anything going on with the clear coat, which we love. We've got, like I said, mostly stock setup. I do love the off-road tires that they have on both the spare and the vehicle itself. It's a really nice fitment for the stock suspension, but of course you can put it on the lift and do a lot of things with it. And that's actually something that I'm going to get into with this highlight, is how many things that you can do with this vehicle. Now, pretty typical cloth interior on this Wrangler Unlimited X. We've got the kind of two-tone gray color scheme going on here, and I get a little bit of speakers up here as well for when you take that top off and enjoy this beautiful spring and summer weather. You can see the typical kind of simplified removable doors that we all know and love from the Wranglers and the JK generation. Classic body style on it as well. So let's get into the driver's seat and all the things that we can customize about this car, why it's such an awesome opportunity to build something really cool. All right, y'all, welcome to the driver's seat. So very typical, very classic kind of Jeep feel to everything going on in this interior. Mostly analog setup with a few digital elements. As you can see that this multimedia kind of center has the ability to do calling and kind of phone connectivity, as well as Sirius XM, which is really nice for a 2007 model. It's not a lot of digital anything, as you can see. There's not a huge screen to it, but it's still nice to have, and it still leaves a lot of room for upgrades. Centralized climate control system, but it's nice and simple, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's not a huge vehicle, so that is really not a problem when you have a centralized climate control system and something like this. But what I really wanted to get into is everything that you can do with this vehicle as a build. And a lot of us car enthusiasts, we really love the build aspect of the vehicles, as well as just the basic kind of comfort daily driver things that everybody knows and loves. All right, y'all, I'm taking you back outside real quick just to talk about all the different things that you can do with this vehicle. Now, like, my biggest thing about this vehicle, like my biggest selling point about this vehicle, is not just like it's a nice little Wrangler, it's a JK, it's a very like common and popular type of Wrangler, but the fact is that there is so much for this model and this generation that is out there in terms of customizability. Not just the aesthetic things like the different bumpers, the different trim pieces, the little angry eyes grills that we all know and love, and all the millions of duck things that we do with Jeeps, but seriously, there is a ton of suspension upgrades. There is performance upgrades for the engine. There's intake and exhaust upgrades. There is a lot of off-road upgrades that you can put on these vehicles. These cars have so much going on that you can do that you will definitely make it your own. I mean, I have seen 1,000,001 Jeep builds, and there are some seriously unique concepts out there. A lot of mechanics and a lot of different shops and a lot of different companies take into consideration this specific style and this specific make and model and produce some really cool products for these things. Some of the few that I've seen is just intake and exhaust stuff from companies like Magnaflow and Edelbrock, which a lot of us really love and know for their performance. There are supercharger systems that you can have for this V6, and the V6 is a really kind of cool and customizable thing that you can work with. It's not as heavy as a V8. It's not as difficult to find, you know, different parts and upgrades for as some of like the i6s that Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep have put out for their other vehicles. And a V6 is a bit smoother than an i6 in terms of performance, so there's already that there. So even in just like the under the hood category, there's a lot of things that you can do, and there's also a lot of different upgrades and different systems that you can hook up to this, as I've mentioned, with the superchargers, ram air ventilation systems, and snorkels that you can use for when you're off-roading and you don't want to drown your car. I see a ton of snorkels on these vehicles, and they look really fun, but they definitely serve that purpose of getting down and getting that vehicle off-road, which a lot of people do lately, especially with this summer weather coming up. Well, anyways, y'all, thank you so much for joining me on this highlight. I could talk honestly forever about all the different builds and configurations you can have for these vehicles, from the more punchy engine performances like the superchargers and the different air intakes that you can put on these, to the different exhaust and off-road kind of suspension and snorkel systems that you can put on it to make it better off-road and to make it more capable in different environments, from a swamp to a mountainous area to any kind of trails that you're taking it out on, to just going back and forth between work and your house and taking it on occasional adventures. There are tune-ups for just about anything and everything, and I mean there are different tuning chips for fuel, for performance, and for just about everything else in between, including a dash-mounted touchscreen tuner for these specific vehicles, which is just fantastic. Y'all have been amazing. Thank you so much for the support. We will see you on the next one.